Hello and welcome to Election Exchange. I'm Parikshit Luthra. Election apathy or summer blues? The muted turnout across Lok Sabha seats that went to polls in phase 2 could be something pollsters would be decoding over the next few days. There were also people who exercised their democratic right. On your screens are visuals of couples across India who dashed to the polling stations on the day of their wedding. 88 Lok Sabha seats across 12 states and 1 union territory went to polls today. This included the remaining assembly segments in outer Manipur. Polling in Madhya Pradesh's Betul had been pushed to phase 3 after a candidate died. The BJP had won 52 of these seats in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The Congress won only 18. 15 of them came from Kerala. So you can understand the importance of Kerala in this election. First up, let's turn our focus to Karnataka. 14 Lok Sabha seats, including Bengaluru constituencies, went to polls. The BJP had won 11 of them in 2019. The Congress and JDS, which were in an alliance, then won 1 seat each. This time, however, the Janata Dal Secular is in an alliance with the BJP. Jude Sanath is joining us from Bengaluru. Jude, let me go across to you. What is the big trend that you've picked through the day? What's been the voter turnout like? We hear it hasn't been too great, and this has been a problem in the first phase as well.
While admittedly voter turnout has not been great across Bengaluru's urban constituencies, the fact is that a whole lot of the voting story in Karnataka is actually written in the smaller towns, much like Assam and Mandya, given the fact that we're seeing a bit more relatively in terms of voter turnout in these smaller towns. Remember, it's also quite significant, especially given the future of the JDS. Towns like Mandya, that's seeing H.D. Kumaraswamy contest. Towns like Hassan, that's seeing, the Gowda grandsons, Puttaswamy Gowda and H.D. Deve Gowda's grandsons also contest. And that's largely because, as far as Karnataka is concerned, these 14 seats at least, a lot of them are actually, determinants with regard to the immediate future of the JDS, the regional party in the state. Remember, that's in alliance with the BJP government as far as Karnataka is concerned. And this even as the BJP and the Congress go head-to-head in a fight that is seeing both parties take on each other in both urban constituencies like North, Central, South and rural Bengaluru, and a bunch of constituencies like Mysuru and of course Hassan and Mandya. Also, interestingly, a lot in terms of these elections will, have a say in terms of what kind of a presence and potential D.K. Shivkumar has with regard to being the Congress state unit chief. Remember, both Shivkumar and H.D. Kumaraswamy command a large percentage of the Vocaliga vote that will have a massive say in these elections. So political futures, party futures are at stake here in just about 14 constituencies. But the fact remains that while voter turnout has been rather lukewarm, we can expect a great deal of determinants by way of the turnout itself, especially as far as the Vocaliga community is concerned. Which way they'll vote, I guess we'll know in a few weeks from now.
All right. Thanks very much, Jude, for joining us. I'm now joined by DP Satish, Group Editorial Advisor South at Network 18, Senior Journalist B.S. Arun and Vijay Grover. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program today. DP Satish, how do you decode the low voter turnout? Why do you think people in Bengaluru, some of the urban constituencies in Bengaluru, did not turn up in large numbers?
I really don't think it's a low voter turnout because at 5 o'clock, across Karnataka, outside Bengaluru, voting was about 64%. If the same trend continues, it can even cross 73-75%. That is actually a very good turnout considering the heat, no rain and all kinds of things. And also it's a weekend, Friday. In Bengaluru city at 5 o'clock, average voting was 50% and another 1 hour left. And whoever is inside the polling booth, they will all be allowed to vote. And in Bengaluru city, voting percentage might cross 57, 58%, even 60%. Because in the 2019 in Bengaluru city, average voting was 54%, including all 3 urban constituencies. This time it is already 50%, and it might cross 2019 record of percentage of 54%. But outside Bengaluru, voting percentage has been really good. In Bengaluru rural, it was about 61% around 5 o'clock, and in coastal districts of Dakshina Kannada and Udupi, percentage was more than 70%. And even in other parts, even in Hassan, voting percentage was about more than 70% because there is a fierce battle going on between Congress and JDS there. Also in Mandya, voting percentage hasn't been bad because of early morning voting was brisk. After 11 o'clock, voting slowed down because of the heat and other things. But again, after 4 o'clock, voters are back at the polling booth. I really don't think voting percentage has been so bad. Even in Bengaluru city, might record break, or it's better, it's 2019 record.
Right. Let me go across to B.S. Arun and Vijay Grover. B.S. Arun, how do you see the voting trends this time around? Were you able to speak to some of the voters at different polling booths in Bengaluru, in Karnataka? What are they really voting for at a national level? Are there local issues, daily livelihood issues which become very important? Or people are voting in national interest, what they think will be good for the country?
Well, it depends on which party they are voting for. The NDA is contesting. BJP and JDS have teamed up, and they are fighting a fierce battle with the Congress. So Congress is highlighting the guarantees given by the Siddaramaiah government and a couple of other welfare measures dished out by the Siddaramaiah government, while the BJP has been highlighting the achievements of the Narendra Modi government over the last many years. So these two are the main campaign plank. But there were many other issues. The Neha murder case, the Neha murder, which happened just about 8 days ago in Hubballi, has become a huge campaign point, especially in North Karnataka and parts of South Karnataka. And the murderer being a Muslim has not helped. And the statements given by the Karnataka Chief Minister and Home Minister and the handling of the issue had come in for criticism, and Congress seemed to be on a back foot because of that. But there was damage control from Siddaramaiah, and Congress seemed to have succeeded in containing the damage. And other than that, we have issues like the flood relief assistance being delayed by the center, and Siddaramaiah has taken up this issue perhaps potentially effectively. And the issue is now before the court. Court has been told by the center that they will clear the issue in about in a couple of days, maybe by Monday. So these are some of the issues being highlighted by both the parties. Siddaramaiah has taken on Modi and the BJP. Over the last couple of days, it has been about the Muslim quota and other welfare measures. So it's been a very strong pitched battle between the two parties. Congress may not have succeeded in taking on BJP in other states, but in Karnataka, it seems to have succeeded in holding the BJP to some of the alleged wrongs that it had done, while BJP has not lagged behind in pointing out the failures of the Siddaramaiah government.
Right. Let me also go across to Vijay Grover at this point. Vijay Grover, what do you think would be the challenges for the BJP in terms of defending the seats which it had won in 2019?
The biggest challenge that the BJP faces in some of the constituencies was the anti-incumbency against the candidate. No doubt this election is about Prime Minister Modi versus the rest of India. And that's something where, we're very clearly seeing that, it's not a very tough task as far as the BJP is concerned. But in constituencies like Mysore, where they've been able to stem anti-incumbency against Pratap Simha by replacing him with a new candidate, that is something which certainly has helped. Similarly, maybe in the second phase, there are some constituencies where we've seen a reshuffle of candidates who were there in 2019 and are not there now. So very clearly, this is actually a reiteration, I would say, as far as the BJP is concerned, that it wants the mandate to continue forward what the Karnataka people had given to it in 2019. So while, the only person where there is some reports that are coming of a ground thing is that maybe in Bengaluru South, it may not be a cakewalk for Tejasvi Surya, because there are certain anti-incumbency factors which have been raised by the voters that the MP had not given the kind of attention that was there. But otherwise, it's a vote for Modi as far as a lot of Karnataka people are concerned. And on the other hand, the Congress is banking on the guarantees, the 5 guarantees that it had launched last year, which it feels that will be able to give it some breathing space in terms of being able to counter the BJP in this particular election.
Right. DP Satish, coming to you, how do you feel has been the Congress's candidate selection this time around? And does that put the party in a stronger position? You already have the Congress in the State Assembly. How has the candidate selection and ticket distribution been for the party?
Parikshit, it's not really good across the state because out of 28 seats, Congress didn't even have candidates for at least 6 to 8 seats. So they had to field whoever was ready to or willing to contest. Because take for example, Bengaluru City, there are 3 seats and Congress hasn't won any of these seats since 2004. But they actually didn't have any candidates in Bengaluru City for these constituencies. They approached some sitting ministers, then sitting MLAs for Bengaluru City. All of them declined to contest. After that, they had to field someone else. Their candidate selection hasn't been really good. Take the example of Mumbai Karnataka region. They had to field children of the sitting ministers in Chikkodi, in Belgaum, also in Bagalkot, in Hyderabad Karnataka region, even in Bidar, then also in central Karnataka, Davangere, and also in Chamarajanagar, they had to field the son of a sitting minister. So because Congress candidate selection hasn't been really good, because BJP swept the polls in 2019, winning 25 out of 28 seats. After that, Congress didn't bother to cultivate the vote bank there, didn't even bother to promote or nurture anyone there. Because of that, they didn't have candidates in many seats. Finally, they had to pick at least 5-6 people who were ready to contest. But as Arun has rightly said, Congress is banking heavily on 5 guarantees of Siddaramaiah government, and it seems to have working on the ground, irrespective of caste, creed, religion, also region, among the poor and lower middle class people. But BJP has changed about 10 candidates and they have fielded someone else, and there was some issue here and there. In Shomaga, Ishwarappa has been suspended by the party and he is contesting against Yediyurappa's son. In Mysore, there was an issue. And in a few other constituencies like Davangere and few other constituencies, there is still an issue. But BJP candidate collection has been good and is actually better than Congress candidate selection.
Right. Let me go across to B.S. Arun once again. B.S. Arun, how do you think the Congress's campaign has been vis-a-vis the BJP? Did the Congress manage to arrest the issues such as lack of grassroots support and lack of resources, the kind of resources that are available with the BJP but not with the opposition?
See, Parikshit, in 2014 and 2019, perhaps Congress was fighting a battle which was not in its favor. And the party didn't do well at all in 2019, as we all know. And it surrendered so many seats to the BJP, which won 25 out of 28 seats. And Congress, as far as the issues that are concerned, this time, initially there was a lackluster campaign, but it picked up quite fast. And Congress led the campaign. In the first couple of weeks, it was Congress which was leading the campaign, and BJP was forced to counter or to react. And the Neha murder case, Neha being daughter of a Lingayat Congress worker, Congress councillor, and the murderer was a Muslim boy. They were college-going kids, but this put Congress on a back foot. So that's where the campaigning issues sort of came to a not standstill, but on a setback for Congress. But Congress overall, considering the guarantees as Satish mentioned, some of the other programs that it laid out to the people, I think it is in a far better position this time, especially among the women, who have been given the free bus rides and a couple of other welfare guarantees. And Congress, because of these issues, is certainly riding on a good wave compared to what it was during 2019. Okay. And I think this will hold them in good stead in both the first and the second phases.
Okay, we've completely run out of time. We'd like to thank Vijay Grover, B.S. Arun and D.P. Satish for joining us on the program. We are taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. We turn our focus to the Hindi heartland. When we return, 35 seats across multiple states go to polls. Who could the voters give their hearts and votes to? We discuss that on the other side. Welcome back. Let's now turn our focus to the Hindi heartland. A total of 35 seats across UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Bihar, Chhattisgarh went to polls. The BJP-led NDA had won 34 of these 36 seats in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The Congress had won only one seat, Kishanganj in Bihar. BSP candidate Danish Ali had won from Amroha. This time he fought on a Congress ticket. My colleague Abhimanyu and Danish Anand join us from Ghaziabad and Gautam Budh Nagar respectively. Danish, to you first. Gautam Budh Nagar is a crucial seat in UP, which Mahesh Sharma has won for the last two terms. What are the key issues here?
The voters that were coming to cast their votes today, they told us about certain key issues which talked about the kind of registry issues that private flat owners are facing. Besides this, safety and crime were a bit other issues that the people have voted for. But overall, if we see the voter turnout, even this time has been around 60%, which is similar to the previous two elections. Even in the previous two elections, the overall total voter turnout was around 60%. Especially if we talk about Noida. Even in Noida, the voter turnout came out to be near over 55%. So overall, we saw that in the urban areas, the voter turnout is kind of bit lower in comparison to the previous elections. But there was a high voter turnout in the rural areas, and it is expected that even this time, they're anticipating that the favourite candidate wins these elections.
Right. Let me now go across to Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, you've been standing by in Ghaziabad all day. What's the chatter you've picked up from the ground? The voting percentage, as we're looking at Uttar Pradesh as of 5 p.m., is around 53%. How about things in Ghaziabad, where you've been standing?
Well, Ghaziabad has fared almost similar to the entire state. So the voting percentage at 5 p.m. was hovering somewhere around 50% itself. And the final figures are yet to come out. But of course, heat, would be a big factor as far as low turnout is concerned, which was a worry even in the first phase and will continue to be one. It would continue to possibly bother the Election Commission, which is taking ample steps, which is taking proactive measures to encourage voter turnout despite spread of heat waves. Speaking of specific assembly segments in the Ghaziabad Lok Sabha constituency, the city primarily has an urban electorate and is beset with civic problems like any other city. And of course, the vote would be influenced by issues pertaining to civic infrastructure, even if it does not fall within the purview of the centre or the Member of Parliament. As far as other segments are concerned, be it Loni, Muradnagar, Sahibabad, these areas are a mix of rural and industrial areas. So clearly, jobs would be a big focus. So would be alleviation of problems for MSMEs. As far as rural areas are concerned, the caste factor, of course, does come into account in some segments, but primarily it's a mix and mash of many factors, be it jobs, be it civic problems, be it education, and be it development of more infrastructure. Because with the expansion of Ghaziabad as a satellite city to not just Delhi but even Noida for that matter, land rates had increased, they had skyrocketed, which had to a certain extent hindered the expansion of real estate even further. So that of course will continue to be a problem. And of course, as far as registration of new societies is concerned and problems pertaining to group housing societies, they of course increasingly in every general election as well as every state election have been the focus point, not just for the electorate but even for the people, for the candidates who are seeking votes.
All right. Thanks, Abhimanyu and Danish, for joining us. Let me now go across to Sharat Pradhan, who's joining us from Lucknow. Mr. Pradhan, thank you very much for joining us. How do you think the battle is poised in these 8 seats? The BJP had won 7 out of 8 in 2019. The BJP has made some changes, replaced certain candidates because of anti-incumbency. How does the battle look for the ruling party?
Well, the changes that BJP has made is not because of anti-incumbency, it is because of extraneous reasons. And that is what is giving BJP a tough time on more than one seat this time. Let me tell you that one seat of Amroha, which was then in 2019 won by the BSP, whose candidate, who's sitting MP now, Danish Ali, has crossed over to the Congress and is the Congress candidate from that very constituency. And Mayawati, of course, because Mayawati is known to be siding with the BJP in one form or the other and assisting the BJP in digging into the opposition vote. So she fielded candidates in each of these constituencies which would go to suit the BJP. As far as BJP is concerned, I can see BJP going in for a tough call even in Ghaziabad, where they removed General V.K. Singh, the former Indian Army chief, who was also a minister in the center, for no rhyme or reason. And that provoked a lot of Rajputs of the region to rise up in arms against the BJP. And with that began a lot of Rajputs running right up to Rajasthan have been up in arms against the BJP because of the simple reason that instead of General V.K. Singh, the ticket has gone to a local moneyed businessman who is, for whatever reason, he doesn't have that kind of a background. Then in Meerut, BJP has really showing how pathetic its condition is because they couldn't get a candidate. And they're realizing that Meerut being the most important and the biggest city in that region and also the most important constituency in that region, they had to handpick somebody like Arun Govil, who's a lost and forgotten actor who did the lead role as Ram in Ramanand Sagar's famous serial Ramayana way back 1987-88. Because the Ram Mandir is not working there, BJP had to take recourse to getting somebody who has played a role of Ram, a fake Ram. And to assist him comes a fake Sita who played Sita. Now just imagine if BJP is so desperate that it's not able to get a good candidate in a city like Meerut. What must be its condition? I fail to understand. Because there, this poor Arun Govil has to introduce him. He's carrying, cutouts of his Ramayana serial, telling people that he's the same guy who played Ram way back in 1987. That reflects how the condition of the Bharatiya Janata Party in these places. Even in Aligarh, it's going to be a tough fight. But yes, there is no way that BJP can retain 7 of the 8 seats this time. It's pretty evident on ground.
Right. Strong views there, Mr. Sharad Pradhan. I'd also like to ask you, how do you think the opposition alliance has managed in terms of its campaign? Has the campaign had a strong impact? Voting was low in the first phase. It's around 50%, 54%, 55% today. How has the voter turnout been, according to you? We've been seeing a lot of BJP leaders going out, exhorting voters to vote in big numbers.
Well, the reports that I have got here in Lucknow from these places is that there has not been so much enthusiasm among the RSS workers who otherwise go door to door. You know, they go very aggressively. They get involved in bringing the voter to the polling booth. But this time, the reports from each of these places said that that enthusiasm is lacking. So that also speaks of the poor polling. And generally, generally wherever there is polling, when it is left around 50%, it generally reflects that the enthusiasm of the ruling party is fading out. And so this doesn't speak well for the BJP, the low turnout, despite the fact that the Prime Minister went down to the level of making the whole narrative communal, so communal, which was never expected of somebody who calls himself Vishwa Guru, stooping down to the level of talking about lies, that the Congress party is going to take away all your jewelry and the Mangal suits will be given away to Muslims, which is complete lies. And Yogi Adityanath and Amit Shah also repeat the same thing, like saying that the manifesto, in Congress manifesto, has mentioned that they would usher in a Shariat law, which is nonsense. No, there's not a word about it, and they cannot have it. So they are trying to. I don't know. It's only a person who's shaky, who's on a shaky wicket. He would stoop down to this level of trying to turn the narrative into a community. My reading is that Mr. Modi and his company did not realize on day one that when they talked about changing the constitution, and their number of their leaders talked about it, important leaders, and now they've gone back.
One more question of that I would have. Yeah, I have one more question about the larger Hindi heartland.
Can I just complete? It is only that realization dawned that this whole thing is this constitution, changing the constitutional business is proving to be counterproductive. Because when the Dalits rose up to say that they want to remove Ambedkar's constitution, that would even amount to removing the provision for reservation. Then they switched to, they had no alternative. They went back to their old story.
Mr. Pradhan, one final question.
Communal. Yeah.
One final question. The entire Hindi heartland, if we speak about, be it Chhattisgarh, be it Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, how do you think the party is going to perform here in Bihar? The opposition is putting up a tough fight. We have some interesting contests. How do you think the NDA will perform? How do you think the opposition perform across the Hindi heartland?
I have been to a couple of states in the Hindi heartland, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan. During the campaign, I was there for a couple of days in each of these states, and of course UP. The situation is that in most of these states, particularly Rajasthan, all 25 seats have been with BJP since 2014. Madhya Pradesh, barring one seat, the rest have been with the BJP. Chhattisgarh, only 2 seats had gone to the opposition. 9 out of the 11 seats were with BJP. So, in the Hindi and in Uttar Pradesh was the only place where they had scope of taking their tally beyond 62, which they got in 2019, because UP has 80 seats. And here it seems to be a really uphill task to even retain what they had in 2019. So I don't see the Hindi heartland giving them, and Rajasthan, there are confirmed reports that there is tough fight on at least 10 or 11 seats out of the 25, and BJP may lose at least half a dozen seats. So there is no scope for increasing the tally there. Likewise, in Chhattisgarh, there is no way that BJP is going to retain all its 9 seats. Madhya Pradesh, maybe because Andhra Pradesh, there is a lot of infighting in the Congress. So Madhya Pradesh, BJP may just maintain where it is. So where do they gain? In
Okay.
UP, there is no chance. So the Hindi heartland doesn't seem to be going the BJP way in the manner that BJP would want and which would fulfill Modi's dream of 400 par and things of Attar par and all that stuff.
Okay. We've run out of time, but thank you very much, Mr. Pradhan, for joining us. With that, it's a wrap on our special broadcast. More news and updates continue right here on CNBC TV 18. Hello and welcome to Election Exchange. I'm Parikshit Luthra. Election apathy or summer blues, the muted turnout across Lok Sabha seats that went to polls in phase 2 could be something pollsters would be decoding over the next few days. There were also people who exercised their democratic right. On your screens are visuals of couples across India who dashed to the polling stations on the day of their wedding. 88 Lok Sabha seats across 12 states and 1 union territory went to polls today. This included the remaining assembly segments in outer Manipur. Polling in Madhya Pradesh's Betul had been pushed to phase 3 after a candidate died. The BJP had won 52 of these seats in 2019 Lok Sabha elections. The Congress won only 18. 15 of them came from Kerala. The Congress and the left are partners in the India bloc, but they are fighting each other in Kerala. The BJP, which has never won a Lok Sabha seat in the state, is upbeat about its prospects. Wayanad was a key focus area. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi took on CPI's Annie Raja and BJP State President K. Surendran. Meanwhile, in Thiruvananthapuram, it was a three-way fight among Shashi Tharoor of the Congress, Rajiv Chandrasekhar of the BJP, Paniyan Ravindran of the CPI. CNN News 18's Neetu Ravikumar joins us with the latest from Thiruvananthapuram. Neetu, you have been tracking developments in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala since probably 7 this morning. It's been a long and hard day for you, but any key takeaways that you'd like to share with us?
See, the latest polling update which has come in at 6 o'clock says that the polling percentage is at about 67%. There could be updates coming in after the calculation of what went in the last hour. But if you look at it, I think it's similar like that of last time also. The polling percentage, it would come around that time. In the early morning, we thought that the polling percentage might increase because people had come out in large numbers. Even within the Thiruvananthapuram city constituency, we saw people coming out in large numbers early in the morning itself. There could be two reasons. The summer heat, it looks like that is one of the major reasons, because in the afternoon time, the crowds were a bit less. Now, if you look at Thiruvananthapuram, it's a constituency which has a three-cornered fight between Shashi Tharoor, the sitting MP, Rajiv Chandrasekhar of the BJP, and CPI's Paniyan Ravindran. It was one of the most interesting fights in the state of Kerala, and it's also the seat where the BJP had high hopes, because it was a seat in which they came second in 2014 and 2019. So that is something which they hope, and that is why they had put in someone like a Rajiv Chandrasekhar to take on Shashi Tharoor. Shashi Tharoor says that he's confident of winning this seat because of the work that he has done over the past 15 years. And he also says that the secular nature of the constituency, the secular nature of the state, and the stand that he takes, because people also need their representatives to speak about their aspirations. Meanwhile, Rajiv Chandrasekhar says that his is a politics of performance, and he has to show the report card of the Modi government for the past 10 years. During campaign, it was pitched that if Rajiv Chandrasekhar wins, that he will be a union minister. So the constituency and the state will have more to look out for. Another interesting fight was in Artingal constituency, where MOSV Muralidharan was pitted against sitting MP Adur Prakash and CPM's MLA V. Joy. Wayanad is again a constituency where Rahul Gandhi has been contesting, CPI's Annie Raja contesting there, and BJP State President K. Surendran. But Wayanad has traditionally been a Congress bastion, a Congress seat. So if at all the margins might come down, but it's definitely going the Congress way. At least in 6 seats, the BJP had high hopes, but this is a state where of the 20 Lok Sabha constituencies, 19 is with the Congress-led UDF and 1 with the LDF. Among the issues, CAA, Manipur, inflation, price rise, corruption against the state and the central government, these were all issues. Development, a major plank in Kerala.
All right, Neetu Ravikumar, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Let me now go across to Satya Prakash of the Congress, Vishwas Pathak of the BJP, CPI leader Dinesh Varshne. We're also joined by MG Radhakrishnan, a senior journalist. Mr. Radhakrishnan, if I can come to you first, your views on the election gone by in Kerala. Do you think the nationally ruling party and the NDA alliance managed to do better this time, or do you feel they could not make any inroads in the state of Kerala. How was the opposition's campaign in the state, according to you?
Yeah, well, Parish, Kerala, the Lok Sabha elections in Kerala in the past has never attracted the kind of national attention that it has this time, because this is of extremely critical significance and importance to all the three national parties, that is the BJP, the Congress, and also the CPIM. To the BJP, because Kerala has always remained completely inaccessible to them in terms of electorally speaking. And so for this, so they have been concentrating the South in general and Kerala in particular, because it has become a completely, even a prestige issue, because that was the reason why Prime Minister Narendra Modi, visited Kerala at least 6 times in the last 4 months, which is unprecedented. And so it's very important for them. And Congress, because as it was mentioned earlier, that Kerala is a state where it got the maximum number of seats in last time in 2019, 15 seats and plus 4 for its allies. So for them to catch Kerala, to maximize its seats from Kerala is of extremely important concern for the Congress. And for the CPIM also, this is because this is the last red bastion of India. And so since they have lost both Bengal and Tripura, it is to remain relevant in national politics. It has to sort of perform better in Kerala, and they have also, it's an existential election, because their national party status is at stake now, and so these are all extremely this particular election in Kerala. That is why it makes so critical to all the three parties. Now, the opposition's performance, especially in Kerala, it's as always, Kerala, it's a bipolar polity, and the Congress-led UDF and CPM-led LDF have been fighting each other for the longest time. And now this election also, in spite of being allies in the India bloc, India Alliance, it was a bitter contest of fierce proportions, and so the fight was absolutely sharp in every constituency. The third point is about BJP. BJP's attempt, as your reporter said, BJP actually concentrated in 4 or 5 constituencies, which they consider A category, because those are the seats where they won more than 20 to about 31%. So I think BJP is likely to increase its vote share from 2019. It was about 15%. It might go up a bit, but will they win a seat is still a wide open question.
All right. Whether they will win a seat or not is a wide open question. Let me put that to Vishwas Pathak of the BJP. Vishwas Pathak, will the BJP be able to make an entry into Kerala at all? We have heard the Prime Minister speaking about a double-digit victory in Kerala, but it's a tough state, different demographics, different politics, different cultures.
We understood what is the culture and what is the politics of Kerala. In Kerala, there is always face-off between Congress and CPI. In state, they do dosti, that is friendship, but at central level in Delhi, they do kusti, they play kusti, they fight with each other. So public in Kerala is fed up of this kind of dual kind of approach of both the parties. They are in search of third some force which will really give proper development.
It seems that the people of Kerala are used to this.
No, people of Kerala are also witnessing, watching what other states are benefiting from. Mr. Narendra Modi has been playing the politics of development. And in case of development, we do not think of religion, caste and anything. Our vote bank is beneficiary. Antyodaya, the last person who needs support is being given support. Be it Ujala gas, be it electricity, be it Nal Se Jal, means water connection at home, food grains, then insurance coverage, health insurance, many other things. So we are not discriminating anything. So state of Kerala, people are now watching what is happening in Madhya Pradesh, what is happening in Maharashtra, what is happening in Rajasthan. Wherever BJP ruled state is there, And with this double engine ki sarkar, people are ultimately benefited. And we have been concentrating in Kerala for last 10 years, and we will reap the benefits this time. And our vote share will go up, we'll make inroads, and we will have double-digit member of parliaments from Kerala.
Right. Let me also go across to Mr. Satya Prakash of the Congress Party. Mr. Prakash, would you agree that when it comes to defending seats like Wayanad, where Rahul Gandhi is contesting from, or even Thiruvananthapuram, where you have Shashi Tharoor, it's going to be tough for the Congress Party?
See, Parikshit, the writing on the wall is clear. God's own country is going the Congress way. It's going the India Alliance way. My friends were saying, that, left and Congress fights in Kerala. We fight to keep the fascists away. We don't want fascist and communal party like BJP to even have the second place. If we and left go together, they will automatically become the opposition. They will hold on to the opposition space in Kerala. Today, the whole of South, right from Telangana, election has happened in Karnataka also. The South is shutting the door to communal and fascist politics of Modi and BJP. God's own country too will follow Tamil Nadu, which has walked BJP from its land. We need to understand what sort of development is that my friend from BJP is talking about. What is Modi talking about? While we are talking about Nyay, we are talking about Nyay to women, we are talking about economy, we are talking about jobs, we are talking about unemployment. What is Modi talking about? Modi is talking about calling Muslims women who bore more children.
Okay.
This is the sort of politics that Modi is playing. He is playing Hindu-Muslim. Is this development?
Okay.
This is what I want to ask.
Right.
Today,
Let me get in Dinesh Varshney for a quick comment, Mr. Satya Prakash.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to come back to you immediately, sir. Mr. Varshney, I want to get the CPI view. As Mr. Radhakrishnan pointed out earlier, this is the last bastion of the left, so to say. How has the party tried to reinvent itself, innovate in terms of candidate selection, campaign, to make sure it can retain its vote share, the core vote bank in Kerala?
Parikshit, let what Mr. Radhakrishnan imagine, let him imagine. Or whatever he thinks, let him think. But let me tell you one thing. It is not us, it is the Niti Aayog says that Kerala is the best governed state. We supplied the oxygen during COVID to all the states. No other state was oxygen surplus. We control the COVID the best manner. It is being said by the WHO also. So let Modi ji say that how the India was governed by the central government during COVID. But they were not giving the grants to the states. They were not giving the equipment to the states. They were sitting in the citadels of their home. So this is wrong. Second thing is, let me tell you, we are not afraid. The people of Kerala know very well that fascist and communal forces like BJP is not welcome in Kerala. It is the highest literate state of the country. They will know very well that Modi ji has ruined the country. Unemployment is the highest. Price rise is the highest. Industrial production has gone down. Hunger index, we are the lowest. We are among the lowest. But per capita income, it has slightly gone up, but similarly the price rise has gone up. See the dollar-rupee rate. Tell me a single field where Modi ji can claim, yes, he has development. This development plan made by the Modi ji is a gaudy media creation and a false data creation. And this is not I am saying, even Subramaniam Swamy, their MP is saying.
Right. Mr. Radhakrishnan, coming to you. Now, we have always seen the importance of Uttar Pradesh, but this time it seems winning big in the South zone is extremely important for the BJP. How do you think the BJP is going to perform in the southern states of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala? Because these states are going to be critical to the party's fortunes and also reaching the 400+ mark, according to you.
Well, as you said, South is going to be the game changer in this election for various reasons. And the BJP's attempts, that remain, the south of Vindhyas remains completely out of its saffron grip. And so to make inroads into south is something which the BJP has been trying for a long time, and especially in the last 4 or 5 years, they have intensified the efforts. But the situation still remains, the south remains a tough terrain to BJP even this election. If you take any state, the BJP's performance aspect, perhaps a couple of seats more in Andhra. Except that, in almost all the states, the BJP actually, literally, it seems to go south again. That is, Kerala, still remains difficult, and Tamil Nadu, it's extremely difficult, and Karnataka, where was having a reasonably good sort of situation, has also sort of turned to the other side now. They might lose a few seats compared to 2019. So South in general still looks absolutely a distant dream for the BJP. And in Kerala, as I said, the Kerala, it has never won a seat, and this time, there is a keen contest in some of the seats, and in Thiruvananthapuram particularly is where, if at all the BJP wins a seat, it could be Thiruvananthapuram, because the contest has been absolutely sharp in Thiruvananthapuram, and this is the only seat where the BJP came second in the last election. So
Mr.
I think
Thiruvananthapuram, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Right. So I'm sorry, but we've completely run out of time. But you said that, yes, Thiruvananthapuram will be a tough fight because of strong credentials of the candidates there. We'll have to leave it there. But thank you very much to Mr. Prakash, Mr. Radhakrishnan, Vishwas Pakat and Dinesh Varshney for joining us on the program. We're taking a break, but coming up, 8 seats in Maharashtra went to polls. The undivided Shiv Sena had won 4 of them in 2019. We also focused on Assam. 5 seats went to polls there. Face-off between the Shiv Sena led by Eknath Shinde and the other faction led by Uddhav Thackeray. Santya Gora is here with more on the battle for Maharashtra. Santya, how was phase 2 and what do you think were some of the key issues that mattered in this phase?
Hingoli, Parvani, Wardha, Akola, Yavatmal, Vashem, Amravati, Nanded, these were the seats which went to polls in phase 2. Out of these 8 seats, 5 seats are of the Vidarbha region and 3 are of Marathwada region. In the first phase, 5 seats of Vidarbha region went to polls, and with second phase's 5 seats, Vidarbha region's voting is over. Talking about the key election issues, the major vote bank is rural population for all these 8 seats. So farmer distress is one of the most important issue. Proper irrigation facilities, timely payment of insurance under PM crop insurance scheme and timely payment of compensation in cases where crops get destroyed. These are some of the important issues. Also, Marathwada Vidarbha region is infamous for high farmer suicide rate. So that is the most important election issue. The second important election issue is the resentment among the Maratha community over reservation demands. Marathas once again form a key chunk of the voters, especially in the Marathwada seats. Now the important seats to watch out for. First one is Amravati. In 2019, Navneet Rana contested and won as an independent, but this time she is BJP's candidate and she is fielded against Congress's Balwant Wankhede. The second important seat is Nanded, where BJP has repeated its sitting MP Pratap Rao Chikalkar and he is against Congress's Vasant Rao Chavan. One more leader whose fate this particular phase will decide is Ashok Chavan. Now, despite the fact that he is not a candidate, his fate will also be sealed with these elections.
All right. Thank you very much, Santya, for joining us. Maharashtra to Assam, where 5 constituencies went to polls today, including large parts of the Barak Valley, which borders Bangladesh. Anirudh Laskar joins us from Silchar in Assam. Anirudh, how was phase 2? When you spoke to voters, women voters, what did they say about their expectations? What kind of change do they want in Assam? And did they vote for local issues, or did they have the national interest in mind when they went to cast their votes?
Parikshit, you see, in Assam, after the first phase was over, Assam's Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma clearly said that we are winning 5 out of 5 seats in the first phase that went to polls. In the second phase that occurred today, same thing is the scene out here. Himanta Biswa Sarma, Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma, the Chief Minister of Assam, campaigned very hard. He visited Barak Valley 4 times in a span of just 10-12 days. And not only that, we had a road show of Amit Shah, Inner Home Minister Amit Shah in Silchar recently. Mamta Banerjee too came for supporting her candidate, TMC candidate. So we saw very hard-fought elections for the second phase, campaigning for the second phase by top stars of this country. But not only that, in all the 5 seats of Assam, these 5 seats, Udalguri, Darang, and then we have got Nagaon, we have got Difu, which is an ST reserve seat, Karimganj and Silchar. These 5 seats, BJP is banking to win these 5 seats too, because Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma is the blue-eyed boy of Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, and he has promised to increase the tally from what we had last time. In 2019, BJP had 9 seats, and this time around they want to make it 12 or above. And then these are the first and second phases. BJP has fielded all 10 candidates in the first and second phases. In the third phase, their alliance partners would be in fray. AGP is contesting in 2 seats. UPPL, another party, their alliance partner, is contesting in Kokrajhar. So these are very interesting stats that are coming out, and would be eagerly waiting to see in which direction the voters vote for, and we will be eagerly waiting for the 4th of June to know all these results.
Right, we too would be waiting for the 4th of June, Anirudh. Thank you very much for that comprehensive report. Now let's go across to Manipur. 13 assembly segments in the outer Manipur Lok Sabha seat voted today. Ahantem Mehti gets us the latest from Imphal.
In the second phase of the Lok Sabha elections in outer Manipur, many people came out to vote, reaching 76.6 by 510. But there was a trouble at one polling station in Ukhrul district. Some troublemakers damaged the voting machines and cameras there. This made voters and officials worried. Still, security has been increased to keep the elections fair. This time, 4 people are running for the Outer Manipur seat: Timothy Jimik from Naga People's Front, and Alfred Kangam Atta from Congress, and 2 from Independent. Also, this time, the BJP has decided not to nominate anyone, and it's supporting the NPF instead. There is currently no official notice regarding the possibility of repolling at the affected polling station. This is Anjan Biswajit reporting from Imphal.
All right, it's been a bitter campaign, exhausting campaign, and it's not over. We've got at least 5 more phases to go, and then you have 4th of June that we're all waiting for. With that, it's a wrap on Election Exchange. The news continues on CNBC TV 18.